Hello, and welcome to Kloeker's Education Foundation, providing quality content for amazing teachers and students. If you're joining us from a previous lesson or previous series, welcome back. And if this is your first time, we're glad you're here. This is our World History series, and this lesson is on Byzantium, a new Rome. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the link in the description below for a set of free guided notes to this lesson. So let's dive in. Our big essential question for this lesson is, what specific advantages helped the Byzantine Empire survive and thrive while Western Europe declined after the fall of Rome? So we're going to break this lesson up into three parts. Number one, what was Byzantium? Two, the rule of Emperor Justinian. And three, the rise of the Eastern Orthodox Church. And so our text-based objective that students will be able to evaluate the geographical, political, economic, and cultural factors that contributed to the strength and longevity of the Byzantine Empire. So let's set the stage. Looking at Europe after the fall of Rome, we see the series of invasions from barbarian tribes, the Germanic invasions into Western Europe, that is going to lead to the collapse of the Western Roman Empire. And for nearly 1,000 years after the collapse of the West, the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, is going to be continuing and thriving on the foundations built of ancient Rome. And you can see that the Eastern Roman Empire did have some invasions from barbarian tribes, such as the Huns, trying to besiege ancient Greece and other major cities, but it is not nearly as impacted as that of Western Rome. So the capital of the Byzantine Empire is going to be Byzantium. This is previously known as Constantinople and currently known as the city of Istanbul in modern-day Turkey. So, why was Byzantium called a new Rome? Well, it was simple. It was Roman by heritage and history. Byzantium had Roman emperors. It had Roman architecture, Roman culture. It had the spread of Christianity into the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire. Unlike the Western Empire, though, the Byzantine empires are going to have absolute power and are going to be the spiritual leader of the church in the East, thus the rise of the Eastern Orthodox, which we'll break down further later in this lesson. Now, there are some differences. Culturally, in Western Rome, they generally spoke Latin, although those in high politics spoke Greek. And in the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, most of the vernacular, the local language, is going to be based on Greek, both at the local level and at the high political office. While the continuous political and cultural stability of the Byzantine Empire is going to lead it to be wealthier than that of the Western Roman Empire, even prior to the collapse. Byzantium was located in the middle of several trade routes, especially going into the Black Sea, into the Mediterranean, and they weren't prone to the invasion and the disruption of trade by the Germanic tax like the Western Empire. Emperor Justinian is going to ascend to the throne of Byzantium in 527 AD. He is going to take power of the Eastern Empire, and while he is in charge, he is going to have a major influence on the development of the East. He's going to set up the Justinian Code. He is going to rewrite and rework the Roman laws, many of them considered outdated and ancient even by their standards, because the empire had split. Not all of the laws were still relevant. And so to simplify it, they cut down many of the laws that were still in writing. They keep 5,000 Roman laws, which is still a huge number, that were considered to still be useful and broke it up into 4 different works: the Code, the Digest, the Institutes, and the Novella. Justinian is also going to build up many churches in the Eastern Empire, such as the Hagia Sophia, which is one of the major churches within Byzantium, within Constantinople, and is going to definitely help the spread and proliferation of Christianity throughout the Eastern Empire. Now, when Justinian dies, there's going to be a series of plagues, public health will go down, urban decay, and of course attacks on the Byzantine Empire are going to weaken it after Justinian's death. You can see here the photo of the Hagia Sophia located in modern-day Turkey. Now, the photo on the left, you see the Hagia Sophia. Note the 4 towers, the minarets on each corner. These were added to the Hagia Sophia after the fall of Constantinople to the Ottoman Empire and the renaming to Istanbul to help the spread of Islam. They were converting many of the churches into mosques. You can see on the right-hand side, because of the beliefs in Islam, which is actually our next unit, they cover up the photos and the portraits, the paintings that were on the sides and the roof of the Hagia Sophia, and even to this day they're still covered. However, because of the age, many of them are peeling, and so there are spots where the portraits are still peeking through the cover-up. But it is currently a mosque located in Turkey. You can see photos of how grand it is on the inside and the absolute scale of the church. We enter the last part of our lesson, the Christian Empire built by the Roman, how that develops in the East and the West. Now, in 312, the Emperor Constantine is putting down a revolt at the Battle of Milvian Bridge. The night before he goes into battle, he has a vision which he attributes to the Christian God, and after the miraculous victory at this battle, he then passes and issues the Edict of Milan, which legalizes Christianity throughout the empire. Now, this is in 312. Christianity is spreading. In 395, we have the split between the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire. This is, of course, after Justinian, after Constantinople is the major hub in the East, and Rome being the major hub in the West. The split of the empire in 395. Almost 700 years later, we see the split known as the Great Schism between the Western Church and the Eastern Church, the Roman Catholic Church and that of the Eastern Orthodox. Now, there are quite a few cultural differences which had been gnawing away at the division between the two, and of course the split of the empire and the collapse of the West helped even drive a wedge further into that split. The church divided in 1054. We saw the First Crusades in 1096, and the Eastern Orthodox Church will last very strong in the East until even the fall of the Byzantine Empire in 1453. The Roman Catholic Church, with its hub in Rome on the west side, we see the services are conducted in Latin, which is the more of the vernacular local language of the West. We see the Pope is in charge of the Roman Catholic Church. They pass their edict that priests are to take a vow of celibacy and priests cannot marry. And with the Eastern Orthodox Church, we see that services are conducted in Greek or in the local languages, whether it's Russian or Turkish or Arabic. We see that churches are led by patriarchs or other bishops, which act as the head for that church, and generally the patriarch stops at the national level, and so there's a patriarch for Turkey, a patriarch for Bulgaria, a patriarch for Greece, patriarch for Russia, etc., and they are all of equal stature. And we see in the Eastern Orthodox Church quite differently than the Roman Catholic. In the Eastern Orthodox Church, priests may be married and have families. It is once you start entering the higher levels of the Eastern Orthodox Church that they must take a vow of celibacy like that of the Roman Catholic Church. As the Roman Empire dwindles into oblivion, we see the Dark Ages and we see the Middle Ages beginning in Europe. In the East, Byzantium is going to hold on for a few more centuries. This is going to lead to the split, the Great Schism between the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church, and sets up an even bigger conflict arriving in the world, and that is Christianity versus the spread of Islam. So take a few moments and answer in your notes our essential question for this lesson. What specific advantages helped the Byzantine Empire survive and thrive while Western Europe declined after Rome faded into oblivion? And that, ladies and gentlemen, wraps up our lesson. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps us reach more students and expand the reach of the channel. Check us out on Teachers Pay Teachers, YouTube, Rumble, and the Kloeker Education Foundation website. We have a ton of resources for you there. Coming up next, Rome may have ruled the West and the Byzantine the East, but in East Asia, empires were building walls you could see from space, inventing paper, perfecting philosophy, and changing the shape of the future. Ancient Asia, where power, innovation, and tradition all collide. All of this and more is just a click away. I'll see you there.